Yeah, let's talk about that. How losing people you love changed the way you perceive yourself and life.
Well, I think losing people, what it really changed was it changed the fact that I don't anymore see this sort of artificial dichotomy between life and death. Because I feel like I sort of don't even call it death anymore. I call it transition. But what dies to me is the physical body. Something happens to our physical body that causes our physical body to no longer function well, and then the physical body dies. What I felt like I learned with all my losses, and they were all people that I really cared about and was very close to, which may have made a big difference. But I felt like I learned that the energy or the vibration or the spirit of the person still lives. I've gotten so many messages, particularly from my late husband. I still get messages from him 11 years later that yes, the physical body does die, but the energy of the person is always around us. In that sense, the person's spirit is still alive with us. And that really changed my views about life and death. And it also took my fear of dying away. I mean, I'm not ready to die physically, but I don't have this fear. And it also really made me appreciate. I've heard a lot of COVID survivors say this too now. It really made me appreciate how precious life is. And that, it's so easy to take even simple things like our breathing for granted. One of the lessons, it increased my mindfulness. I pay much more attention to things like the birds and how the birds sound in song, and the wind in the trees and the clouds in the sky and all of those things. And I feel much more grateful for everything. And I'm much less likely to complain about things because there's so many things, even in the pandemic, I think there are gifts. I mean, I talked about all the losses, and that's true. There are losses, and yet there's also gains. I mean, I found what a luxury to be able to have time to take a nap.
True.
What a luxury to have time to go outside and walk and not feel rushed. What a luxury for the planet to be getting some fresh air because we've parked our cars, and the climate is being able to take deep breaths now in a way that it didn't. So there's so many pluses for what's happening right now too. And just even having the luxury of more time. We have more time. We're at home. We have more time for the most part, maybe not every day, but I've had time to talk to very old friends that I haven't talked with for some time and just develop some reconnection. And I think that's been wonderful.
Right. Yeah. Being able to see the opportunities for growth in the midst of chaos or traumatic loss. So how do we learn to do that, Sherry?
Well, it's not something that comes right away in the midst of loss. I will say that. When we lose something or we lose someone, we lose something precious to us like a job or a dream. Even losing a dream can be very shattering. Or we lose someone very close to us. It throws us off balance. It throws us off kilter because it turns our life upside down. I mean, I'm much more used to the rhythm now of sheltering at home, but I've been doing it now about 2 months. And goodness, the first several weeks, I felt so out of whack. And, it was just strange.
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
Yeah.
And so at first, our first job probably is not growth. Our first job is finding equanimity, regaining our footing. Like when we're in the middle of loss, when it first happens, our initial impetus should be just to regain our footing and to recover our balance and find and maintain our equilibrium. That's kind of our first job because our life has as we knew it has changed dramatically. Once we do that, Valeria, then I think we can say, and we can start saying, okay, where is the growth piece in this? If grief is a teacher, what are my lessons?
Right. I love that.
What are my lessons? And
Yeah.
if loss is an opportunity, what are the opportunities? If there's a gain for a loss, what are my gains? So what are kind of my edges that I need to grow in or could grow in? And I've seen so many dramatic changes in grief survivors because I do a lot of public speaking now. I do a lot of training. I do volunteer work with bereavement and bereaved survivors. I have seen grief survivors take tremendous steps when it comes to growth and have really grown in ways that they do things they would have never imagined doing before the loss, myself included.
Right.